Hello, everybody. Katya, were you eating cookies? What were you
No,
eating?
a banana.
A banana.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Can't eat cookies in my presence unless you give me cookies. Okay. Well, good to see everybody. Let's do the opening prayers and then we'll get started with class. So please make the mudra for the mandala. Here is the great earth filled with the smell of incense and covered with a blanket of flowers. The great mountain, the four continents, wearing the jewel of the sun and the moon. In my mind, I make them the paradise of a Buddha and offer it all to you. By this deed, may every living being experience the pure world. Idam Guru Ratnam Mandalakam Niryataya Me. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, may I attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, compassion, knowledge, and strength, the Dharma, the enlightened side of truth, and the Sangha, the community of realized beings. From the virtuous merit I create, from the practice of giving with the understanding of emptiness, moral discipline with the understanding of emptiness, patience with the understanding of emptiness, joyous effort with the understanding of emptiness, concentration and wisdom, I will attain the state of a Buddha for the benefit of all living beings. Okay, let's do some rejoicing. Let's start with Natalia.
Totally. Okay, I'm translating. So if you switch to English channel, please. If you can switch to English channel. Okay.
Okay, now I got you. I had to turn
Okay.
interpretation on.
Good. Yes, very good. So my rejoicing today, I'm so happy about today. I was thinking about where it all begins, and Buddhism doesn't say that there is a beginning, and it's beginningless. And then I was thinking more about it, and it felt like we are in a loop, a samsaric loop. Well, it's not felt like, but it's what we are. And the time is also a construct. It's our projection. So that's why we don't see the beginning, because it's this loop, and somewhere outside of it, it's a different perspective. So if we are to look, if we can look from outside, but we cannot, we are stuck there, which is what we are projecting, and that's why we don't see it. I don't know if it makes sense, but that's what.
It's an interesting topic to think about because I like your idea of time. Well, I liked, at one point I was thinking about all this like a Mobius strip. You know what a Mobius strip is?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So that I think the Mobius strip to me represents time. Doesn't represent samsara because samsara, for some reason, I don't see that as being like the Mobius strip. But a Mobius strip is a difficult thing to comprehend in 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions. And so really only, well, it's also 3 dimensional, but time is a projection. And as we're going to be talking about today in class, we have to remember all of this is a projection. So, but I'll get to that when I get to my rejoicing. Okay, Jackie, you're up.
Hello, dearest friends, Lama Samati. Thank you for being together. I rejoice for the gratitude that my family have had differences of opinion for my grandfather's birthday, but he no longer needs to travel anywhere. He can stay local. And I'm really grateful and honored that I was able to send off a request to the venue that he would like to be at. And my grandparents yesterday went to the venue as well. So we've started to get things in place. I won't be able to be at the birthday because I'll be traveling the next day to start my journey to Diamond Mountain.
How long is that going to take?
The journey will take about 2 flights, about 14 and a half hours, I think, from memory for one flight, and then another hour and a half, I think.
Wow, well, that's going to be quite the event. I'm looking forward to meeting you finally down there on the day of the fire puja.
Yes, I'm very
That'll be
excited.
fun. That'll be great fun. Okay, next in line, the ladies. Katya, you're up first.
Okay, hi. I rejoice that today I made breakfast to my father and my sister, and I save them time and I give them love.
What'd you have for breakfast?
It was just a green juice, coffee, fruit like papaya and grapes.
Grapefruit.
And bread with butter.
Well, that sounds, except for the green drink, that sounds pretty good. What'd you think, Sheila? Was it okay?
Yes, was really, really, really wonderful.
Good, good. We had oatmeal with cinnamon and maple syrup.
Mm.
Yeah, that was, I like oatmeal with maple syrup. Anything with maple syrup's okay with me. Okay, Sheila, what do you have to rejoice in?
I rejoice that on Tuesday, I go to a place where the priests that are retired lives, and I go to visit two of them. One of them have dementia, senile dementia, and I talk with he a time, and the other one is stay all the time laying in the bed because he can't move anything. So I spend another time with him, with he talk and listen. And
Good. Well,
I rejoice.
you're setting the seeds to have the help you need when you get to that, if you get to that stage. And Katya, you're setting the seeds to have a interesting breakfast in the future. So very good. Okay, Svetlana, you're up. Oh,
Sorry, and Katya also the seeds to have more time.
oh, yes. Very good. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, you donated time. Thank you, Sheila. I passed over that. Okay, Svetlana, you're up.
Hello, the Venerable Sumati. Hello, everyone. Today there was like celebration of male part of our colleagues. So we congratulated them with upcoming holiday. So it was nice to prepare something that will be pleasant for other people, for male part of colleagues. And also there was a case for to practice patience. There was a task to do like with around half an hour time span. and it was very intense because it was from top management. And then I was trying to do, and then just boss came to me and he was like anxious that I'm doing wrong, that I'm doing some my way, but not that it was supposed to be done. He thought it should be much easier and faster. So he started to put different buttons on my keyboard and everything was frozen. So, and then he asked another colleague to do this task, very urgent, which it was. And then he went to the room. So I was trying, I was remembering like two husbands in the kitchen and even like, oh, okay, he might be stupid, he is, but don't say it. So I was trying to keep calm and thinking, oh, beautiful purification. It's a blessing. It's nice. I'm the stupid, I'm the stupid one in this situation to purify seeds. And then just in 1 hour and 10 minutes, I finished the task. It was sent. And then when boss returned, he told it's okay, like don't worry, we managed everything on time, everything is okay. So, but those exalted emotional moment, it was very precious to use our wisdom not to get nuts. So I dedicate those efforts to stay calm and not to blame other people with wisdom, dedicated to our growing wisdom and understanding emptiness.
Very good. Yeah, the stupid person is you thinking that he's self-existently stupid. So, and then I say you're stupid, we're stupid. Well, I can say I'm stupid because I'm fighting that battle continually. And part of what we're going to be talking about today is going to be covering that. My rejoicing is I've decided to try hypnosis to see if hypnosis will help with my posture issues. And I do that next Thursday. But in order to do that, my wife suggested a couple of meditations. So to all of you, I'm going to make the commitment to try and get my meditation practice started again. It's difficult to do with the tremor and falling asleep, but I'm going to give it the best shot I can. What else? Oh, my desk. I got the standing desk equipment and it's working. I put it all together last weekend. So this is my first week with it and it's helping my back tremendously. I stood for an hour using it, and a while back I wouldn't have been able to do it for 10 minutes. So I'm working on getting my back in better shape. So who would have thought standing at a desk would do that, but it's doing it. So yay. So on to class. What I'd like to do today is Geshe had started to talk about the traditional preparation for meditation. We all do the preliminaries, but I tend to shoot through them pretty quickly because I've got the short version, which is with my body, speech, and mind humbly I prostrate. I make offerings, both set out and imagine. I confess my wrong deeds from all time and rejoice in the virtues of all. Please stay until samsara ceases and turn the wheel of Dharma for us. I dedicate all virtues to the great enlightenment. That's how I usually go through the preliminaries, which is incorrect. It's the short version, but it shouldn't be that short. So we're going to go through, starting today, we're going to go through the preliminaries and discuss them and what they're really doing for us. So if you've do the preliminaries, but you should before all your meditations, this is going to be a bit of a review, but I think it'll be very, very timely, at least for me. So Geshe makes the point that, and I think we understand this, but again, it's something that after you meditate for a while, you tend to forget. Meditating is no different than like preparing for a race, for a marathon, or swimming or biking in a marathon, or playing a sport of any kind, yoga, ballet, practicing the piano, you need to warm up first. And by warming up, it's warming up the muscles for the physical exercise, but it's also getting yourself, to me, warming up means getting yourself in the space in your head about what you're doing. So you're not thinking about other things. The warm up is to calm your mind down and focus your mind on what you're about to do, which is to try and meditate very, not forcefully, very successfully. So most people don't think they need to warm up before meditation. And that's what we're going to be talking about in greater detail. He wants us to develop the passion for meditation that we need to have to make meditation work. And that part of that is the idea of, this is something I had missed, I had lost completely. But if I want to meditate so that the hypnosis works, I've got to think of hypnosis not coming from the outside to me. Hypnosis is coming from me to, I'm projecting the hypnosis working. And I think that's something that is very, very important for it to work for me next week, is to remember that it's projection of my mind and my karmic seeds ripening. So I need to work on that pretty carefully. So the example he gave about meditation and seeds. I have a student in South Africa that is leaving her job. It's an interesting situation in South Africa. I don't know if it's true in other countries, but you can take sick leave. They have to be able to give you, I think it's like 3 months sick leave with pay. And one of my students says she's depressed, so she's taking her 3 months break, and she's quitting her job. So she wanted to take the 3 months before she left her job, and which I have a little bit of problem with that. I would not. Well, I always take my vacation time if I'm leaving a job, but she's leaving a job because she's not happy in it and looking for another job. And as Geshe more than once said, if you're going to leave a job just because you don't like it without thinking about the fact that it's coming from your past deeds, your past seeds, then you're just going to run into another job that after a couple of years you're not going to like, and another job and another job. So you have to look at it from a karmic perspective. So that's one thing she's doing, kind of, because when she let the company know that she was going to be leaving the company, the idea of taking the sick leave was you couldn't apply or take another job while you were on the sick leave. You had to wait for the sick leave to finish. But in the contract she was about to sign, the severance contract, it said you can't take a job on while you're in sick leave. Well, she's got a new job, but it won't start until she's done with sick leave. So she was adamant about making sure they put that into the paperwork, because the human resources woman said, "Oh, don't worry about it." And she said, "No, I have to worry about it because I can't lie about having a job lined up." So they amended the contract and she's in much better space. But now I'm trying to figure out a way I'm going to broach the subject of you're finding yet another job. It's an example of thinking the job is out there self-existently, not making you happy when it's your karma ripening to have that job there and not be happy. So I'm not sure how I'm going to broach that, but I'll probably wait a little bit longer. So if you don't feel happy about your work or relationship, what do? What's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is try and find someone who needs help in their relationship with somebody else, or find somebody a job they really like. That's how you set the seeds for you to get the job you really want or the relationship you really want. I've been very fortunate in my life to have been in jobs that I really liked. So it was easy to make work fun for the people that worked with me, which was perpetuating my seeds for getting uh, jobs or projects that I was interested in. So it's very important to look at the karmic end of things. And in this case, with the job, helping someone else get the job they want. In terms of meditation, if you want to have a good, solid meditation, need to help others either most directly have a good, quiet meditation by, if you're in a big group, not fidgeting, not moving around, not coughing, not making the noise to disturb them. And if you're not in a big group, how do you set the seeds for your meditation to be what you want it to be? Anybody have any idea on that? I can't see you guys. For some reason, my screen has you.
I mentioned that it helps to help others to have peace of mind and give others concentration when they're wishing to do a task, to try not to interrupt them, for example.
Very good. That's excellent. And it's even in conversation, when you interrupt somebody in conversation. Now, I happen to have several students, names not given, that if you start asking they start asking a question, you could go and make a cup of tea and come back and go and have breakfast and come back, and they still wouldn't be done talking. It's none of you, by the way, just so you know. But when you ask, if you want to have the concentration necessary for a good meditation, ask succinct questions. Don't try and impress the others in the class or the teacher with how much you know. Ask a succinct question. Then you're making it so that you and my dedicated toward having a good meditation, because that's what you're looking for is focus. And focus to me is a succinct question. And like Jackie said, you listen, you don't interrupt. So that's where my statement, listen the way you want to be heard, comes into play for me. Because if I listen the way I want to be heard, I'm intent and I'm listening carefully, and I'm ready with, if I'm going to have a question, I don't let that interfere with my listening. Sometimes when I'm listening to Geshe Michael, I get lost on some point he's made, and I start thinking about, like he asks for the 5 of this or the 6 of that, and I start thinking about what are those 6, and meanwhile he's continuing on with his teaching, and when I come back up with the 6, he's minutes ahead of me, and I've lost track of what he's talking about. So that again is a focus and concentration problem that I have, that I need to deal with, because that's a kind of thing that interferes with meditation. Anybody else have a suggestion on what karmically you need to do to make your meditation better? Go ahead, Svetlana.
Follow ethical principles, the 10 virtues.
Right. And how does that help with your meditation?
It helps to have peace of mind. So when we are on the meditation cushion, we have calm, peaceful mind.
Excellent. That's exactly the point of the 6 perfections and the 10 virtuous deeds. I like to think of the 10 virtuous instead of the non-virtuous, because I like to try and think in positive terms with all of this instead of negative. Okay, so you know that you have to set the karmic seeds in order to have a good meditation. but there's the there are the actual preliminary steps. So let's go ahead and start with that, and we'll break into it and discuss the separate points as we go. So get in a comfortable position. And Geshe emphasizes you don't have to be cross-legged sitting in lotus. I got into lotus once during 3-year retreat, and it was wonderful, but it only happened once. And Lama Christie made the point to me as I was sitting in lotus not to do it too long or I might hurt myself. So I was careful, but now I can't sit comfortably in lotus or on a cushion because my posture's so terrible. So I'm looking forward to getting my posture back. But if you need to sit in a chair, don't be embarrassed. The important thing is sitting in a way that will keep you comfortable, not thinking about your knees hurting or your feet hurting or your back hurting. Now, there's something to be said in sitting on a cushion that would be, well, I don't want to say preferable. The important thing, according to Geshe Michael, is to be comfortable so that you're not being distracted by pain or aching or discomfort. So that's the start. Then close your eyes lightly. He says lightly. A lot of meditation teachers teach to leave your eyes just open barely. I like to meditate with my eyes closed. Otherwise, I'm following the pattern on the rug or the cracks in the floor or things like that. So then drop your chin down. Relax your face, your forehead. You shouldn't be squinting or tight with your eyes. They should be just lightly closed. Head should be, maybe your chin dropped a little bit. Your shoulders should be level and relaxed. And next we come to our breath. And this is a point that I want to spend a little time on. You're thinking, you're watching the sensation of the air coming in and out of your nose, right at the tip of your nostrils. We start our breath by exhale and then inhale, that's one breath. And I'm going to watch the clock and I'm going to start, when I say start, count your breath. Don't worry about if you get distracted at this point. Count your breath and then we'll do it again. And I want to see if you can slow your breath down consciously but comfortably. So let's start. Let me get my phone in stopwatch mode. Okay, now why is it there? Okay, we're going to go for 2 minutes. I want you to count your breath. Don't try anything fancy with your breath now. Just count it as you normally breathe. Normal breathing would be approximately 12 breaths per minute. So let's start and count your breath. Okay, I had 16. I counted to 16. How did you guys do?
14.
14. Very good. Sheila, how'd you do?
18.
Svetlana?
27.
27. Wow, you're almost panting. Jackie, how'd you do?
I think it was probably about 5 because I started again because I'm not very focused.
Okay, how about Natalia, how'd you do?
I also lost focus. Sorry.
Okay, well, no, I'm not mad or anything. We're working on trying to approach one part of our preliminaries. So let's do it again, 2 minutes. I was at 15, 14 or 15. Now this time, focus on your breath in a different way. You're not holding your breath, you breathe in more slowly and you breathe out more slowly. Then in between, when you come to you breathe in and you're ready to breathe out, hold that space that when it changes from in to out or out to in, hold that for a couple of counts and then let it go. And you'll see that your breath should slow down the number of counts. Now, if you find you're not focused, that's a good example of why we're doing the preliminaries. We're trying to get ourselves focused. And this is personal stuff I think of. This isn't so much from formal teaching. So we're going to do it again. I'm going to go for 2 minutes and see if you can what I think normally happens is we breathe in and we breathe out without that pause in between. So if you can take the pause and extend it, you may find that the number of breaths diminishes greatly. Since several of you are having trouble focusing, let's go and let's make it 1 minute instead of 2. So we'll start. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I had 8. So based on 2, that would leave me at 16 again. So I didn't improve very much. How about Sheila or Katya? How'd you do?
5.
5. Very good. Sheila?
Also 5.
Well, you must be related. Oh, wait, you are related. Jackie, how'd you do? 5.
5 as
5.
well.
Very good. Very good. Svetlana, how about you?
6.
6. Oh, man, this is a piece of cake for you guys. Okay, Natalia, how'd you do? 7? Very good. Very good. Okay. So when you think that it's 12 breaths per minute normally, and some of you are down to half that, I got to the point in 3-year retreat that I could have 4 breaths per minute comfortably. And that to me was incredibly relaxing. And the one word I can use is it was soft. I felt soft because of that. That doesn't probably ring any bells to you, but it does very calm. Maybe calm is a better word. So, my body, speech, and mind, humbly I prostrate. You set your breath, you set your posture. And the tradition, in our tradition, you count 10 breaths with each time trying not to get distracted. And then you start over if you get distracted. I don't use a timer when I'm meditating. I don't have a timer turned on to see how my breath is going. Well, that's not true. I have one of those timers that I can use to set multiple, what do they call them? Increments. And so I'll set 5 minutes and I'll count my breath. And after 5 minutes, I should be around 25 or 30. But usually the alarm is very quiet. Now we want to invite your heart teacher to come in and sit with you. So we watch our breath. We have our teacher come in. Now, beginning of the Lam Rim, we did a cabin, meditating in a cabin. So let's do that. We'll start again. We'll watch our breath for a couple of minutes, and then I'll lead you through a short guided meditation for your teacher. This is different than what I usually do. And I kind of like the different version. Okay, so go ahead and let me get a stopwatch going. Okay, so close your eyes. Now picture yourself in a sunlit room. It's a perfect temperature. Invite your Lama to come and join you in this meditation. The way I was first taught was they were a full-length prostration away from you at about eye level, but I like having them be right close to you, knee to knee, facing you. You can feel the warmth of their body. You can hear their slow, gentle breathing. Picture them as fully three-dimensional. They don't have to be the same person each time, but flesh out what they look like, what they're wearing. Now make an offering. Before you make the offering, you need to do 3 mental prostrations. Remembering the prostration is honoring them. You're not being subservient. It's a way to show your respect for them. Now think of something you did that you're not so proud of. This is the 4 hours: confession and purification. Think of something you did that you're not particularly proud of, or was something against the 10 virtues or the 6 perfections. And take strength in knowing that by thinking of this, you're purifying it, you're getting rid of it. So take refuge in the fact that you understand about karma and emptiness, you understand about past and future lives, you understand that what you do now in response to what you've done in the past is what creates your future. So take strength in the fact that you recognize this, and you know that by thinking hard about what you did and about your ignorant response, what that means for the future. So you regret the action, and that's the purification, regretting it, knowing that it's going to cause you a problem in the future. By regretting it, you purify it, and that will not happen, or at least won't happen to the strength and extent that it would have otherwise. Now, to cement that in place, to really make it powerful, you need to have a restraint, a time period where you're going to try very hard not to let it happen again. Now make it a reasonable time. And if this is something you come across against often, start making the time tighter, shorter, so that you're trying hard to stop the habit. Then decide on a remedy, what you're going to do to help remind you of the fact that this is all karmic seeds ripening. You don't know what you did in the past to make this happen in the present, but you know what you need to do in the present to make it not happen in the future. Now think of something to rejoice about. And it can be rejoicing in something you did, and perhaps even more powerful would be to rejoice in something you've seen someone else do or heard of someone else has done. Just as the restraint feature in the four powers helps you try and stop a bad habit, rejoicing is a habit to get into where you are happy for what you've done that was good or as important, or if not more important, happy that someone you recognize someone else's good deed. By rejoicing in the fact that you understand karma and emptiness to whatever level you do, and that if you want good things to happen in the future, you need to help others have good things happen in the present. Now ask the teacher to stay and teach. And to set the karmic seed for the teachers to stay and teach, you need to do what they ask in the terms of the teaching, the ACI courses. You do your homeworks and quizzes timely manner. You do the final in a timely manner. When you're at a teaching, you focus your attention on what's being taught instead of wondering about what other people are thinking. For me to get the most out of a teaching, I need to take notes. I can't just rely on getting the transcript from somebody or watching the recording or listening to a recording again. I struggle with that now because I can't take notes. My handwriting was bad to begin with, but I can't even read it now. So for the karma for that to shift, I need to help others get what they need to facilitate them having ease in getting what they need at whatever level. And finally dedicate this to all sentient beings being able to meditate and get the benefits of meditation in their daily practice. Okay, can come out now. So that's a brief, well, that's not so brief. It's Geshe sometimes talks about your preliminaries shouldn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. My wife's preliminaries take longer than that, but she feels that it sets the mood for her, sets the mood very positively for future meditation. So if you find yourself not doing the preliminaries before meditation, that's it's not so much that it's a bad thing. I mean, that's all relative. It doesn't make your meditation any. It will improve your meditation by doing the preliminaries smoothly and properly. What else did I want to say? The purification, the 4 powers of purification are, well, I tell you what, the 4 powers of purification, we'll spend more time on that next week, because I've learned some stuff recently that I taught in when we were in Mexico that I want to share with you about the 4 powers of purification. But I think another important thing, I already mentioned it, but I want to mention it again for my benefit, if nothing else, is hypnosis is not going to work as if it's self-existently there to help me. If I have the karmic seeds for hypnosis to work on my seeds for not having the bad posture, then hypnosis will work. So in the time between now and next Thursday, I need to spend time rejoicing in how I helped other people get what they need and try and figure out a way not to fall asleep when I'm meditating. Because if I fall asleep, that's not going to help with the hypnosis. So that's a struggle. But so between now and next week, focus on slowing your breathing down. I'm not expecting you to get 1 breath per minute. I mean, that's unrealistic. But I am hoping you can get it down to 4 or 5 comfortably. And if you can't do that, it's okay. The point is to take your breath and make it slow and soft and comforting. And that'll make it makes a huge difference for me in my meditation, or back when I was meditating. But as of tomorrow morning, my meditation practice will be born again, I hope. The trouble is, tomorrow morning is our coffee Saturday where we get donuts with the community. So my mind's going to be elsewhere. But that's the challenge of meditation. So, okay. Let's dedicate this. May the source of benefit and goodness, the Dharma, spread and expand. May the beings upholding the Dharma have excellent health. May the source of happiness and well-being for all embodied beings, the Dharma taught by the Buddhas, always increase. May the merit of my life and my practice be for the benefit of all living beings, especially my dear students. Through this merit, may I soon attain the enlightened state of Guru Buddha, so that I may be able to liberate all living beings from their suffering. Okay. We'll talk about the four powers in more detail next week and where that really fits in your preliminary practice. So, thank you for joining me today. And it's always good to see your lovely faces and see some happy faces. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, dearest Lama Sumati. Please stay.
Please stay. We love
Thank
you.
you so much. Please stay. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Adios. No me sale.